Behind every member of the Gaither Vocal Band is a powerful story, not just of talent, but of timing, connection, and God's orchestration. Here's how each of these beloved singers became part of the Gaither legacy. David Phelps. When tenor Jonathan Pierce left the group in 1997, Bill Gaither needed someone with both vocal power and spiritual depth. That's when Mark Lowry stepped in behind the scenes. Mark had heard about a young, classically trained tenor named David Phelps, and he was so impressed, he personally recommended David to Bill. David was invited to audition, and after hearing just a few notes, Bill knew this was the voice to take the GVB into a new dimension. That audition changed everything. David would go on to become one of the most celebrated tenors in Southern gospel history. Years active: 1997 to 2005, returned 2009 to 2017. It started with Mark Lowry's recommendation, and the rest is history. Guy Penrod. By the mid-1990s, the Gaither Vocal Band needed a new lead after Michael English departed. Bill Gaither had already worked with Guy Penrod in Nashville studio scene. He was known for his unmistakable voice and signature long hair. In 1995, Bill offered Guy the role of lead singer. And from that moment, Guy became the rugged, powerhouse voice at the heart of the GVB's golden era. Years active: 1995 to 2009. From studio sessions to center stage, Guy Penrod brought fire to the front line. Mark Lowry. Believe it or not, Mark wasn't originally brought in for singing. In 1988, Bill Gaither invited him to join the vocal band, mostly for his comedy and speaking. But then came a surprise. Mark could actually sing harmony, and it worked beautifully. He became the group's baritone, blending humor and music in a way that made him a fan favorite. His presence added a new dynamic to the GVB experience. Years active: 1988 to 2001, returned 2009 to 2013. Came for the comedy, stayed for the harmony. Wes Hampton. When David Phelps left the vocal band in 2005, the tenor spot opened once again. Wes Hampton was a young husband and father who heard about the opportunity and decided to audition. It wasn't just his voice that caught Bill Gaither's attention. It was his sincerity, work ethic, and heart for ministry. Wes was officially brought on board in 2005, and despite several lineup changes over the years, he's become one of the most consistent, enduring members of the GVB. Years active: 2005, present. The young tenor who grew into a pillar of the group. Marshall Hall. In January 2004, newlywed Marshall Hall received a phone call from none other than Bill Gaither himself. Bill asked him to get in touch with Guy Penrod, and that single phone call launched a month-and-a-half-long audition process. At the time, the vocal band was searching for a new baritone, and Bill saw potential in Marshall, who was known more for his songwriting and worship leadership than stage performance. Marshall officially joined the GVB and became part of 3 key albums: Give It Away, Love and Life, Christmas Gaither Vocal Band style. He toured full-time with the group from 2004 to 2009, then stepped away to pursue solo ministry and serve as a worship pastor at Mountain Park Community Church in Phoenix, Arizona. But he wasn't finished yet. Marshall returned to fill in twice when the group needed him. In 2010, as lead while Michael English recovered from surgery. In 2013, as baritone when Mark Lowry broke his femur. Years active: 2004 to 2009, with fill-ins in 2010 and 2013. One call from Bill Gaither changed everything. Michael English. Back in 1985, Bill Gaither decided to reboot the Gaither Vocal Band with a younger, more contemporary sound. He had his eye on Michael English, who was then part of a group called the Singing Americans. Michael's raw, passionate voice had already been making waves in gospel circles. Bill brought him in as the lead singer, and Michael became part of the foundational lineup that helped define the GVB's modern sound. Though he stepped away in 1994, he made a powerful return in 2009, rejoining the group during its reunion era. Years active: 1985 to 1994, returned 2009 to 2013. From the original sound to a powerful comeback, Michael helped shape it all. Russ Taff. By 1991, the vocal band was going through another transition, and Bill wanted to add some soul and grit to the lineup. That's when he called on Russ Taff, already a gospel music legend known for his time with the Imperials and his solo career. Though Russ's time with the vocal band was brief, his presence brought a raw and heartfelt edge that fans still remember. Years active, 1991 to 1993. A gospel legend joins the ranks and leaves a lasting mark. Conclusion. Each of these singers came into the Gaither Vocal Band through unique paths. Some were recommended, some were discovered, some auditioned, and some were called at just the right time. But all of them played a part in shaping what the Gaither Vocal Band has become today, a legacy of harmony, ministry, and God-ordained connection.